Okay, let's talk personal life. You're a father, 2 boys, and a husband to, as we mentioned, who your trainer is your wife. So it seems to be, and it's funny too, because Team Donaire, when you go to a Nonito Donaire fight, Nonito keeps his crowd or keeps his inner circle. You keep a pretty tight circle, Nonito. Like you're not somebody that wants to run with a huge crowd. It's family. It's Rachel's dad. It's some of your close friends. But that's how you roll when you come into a fight. I want to ask that question. Why is that something you've learned over your career, or why is it that you keep a really tight circle?
I've always been the type of person that surrounds myself with the people I trust. So there's not much obviously from the crowds, or from the people that I bring. I mean, I just believe that if I have somebody who will give everything to me in terms of like, I got your back, and I the same. I think, when you go to war, I guess in the mindset of a warrior, it's about knowing that somebody has, someone has your back, and the comfort and the energy that they give their soul to you when you're inside that ring. They're just there. There's no other intention but supporting me at the very best of me.
It is, and you get nervous, and you're there. We were with your good friend Jesse Vargas in LA, and he's all in too. In fact, I think, does Rachel train him now too?
I am his Rachel is the strength and conditioning trainer, and I'm the head coach along with his dad.
And then so the fight in Arizona got canceled. He's going to go out to Madison Square Garden, right?
Yes, that's the rescheduled date.
Yep, in April, I believe I saw.
Yeah, April 30th.
And now I saw he's trying to run for office too in Vegas or something like
Congress.
that. Congress. That's amazing.
And I'm scratching my head because I'm like, Jesse, we got to go to the gym, man. Come on, dude. We got to wake you up. I'm going to have to get you out of bed like Rocky, and start punching, go in the frozen freezer and then make you start punching those cows, man. Come on, brother. We got to get up,
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. Well, you got a good crew. And I want to go back to that work-life balance because you're around it 24/7. But when you look at your own personal life balance compared to your professional balance, how would you say that you position your personal life to affect your professional life in a positive way?
Well, I'm in the mindset, the growth mindset, So like, for instance, with my kids, I'm constantly learning, Sometimes I get so reactive because I'm a fighter. I react to everything, and I'm like, oh, I gotta calm down. I'm not in the ring, And so I'm always constantly learning to be able to see things clearly. And it's actually helping me become a better fighter now that I just go out there and I'm assessing the situation rather than reacting to it.
Is that, in a sense, learning more patience in and out of the ring?
In and out of the ring, learning a lot of patience, but learning more in directing my kids in the direction of their emotion, by speaking the right words for them, or by giving the energy, like if they're upset, be there for them. Because a lot of, when I was growing up, when I was upset or when I was crying, my dad would like, grow up, stop crying, So now I'm like, I would talk to them. I'm like, why are you okay? Are you feeling hurt? What's going on? Let's talk this out.
Sure.
And that's just it. I mean, it helps me as well to communicate with my kids, but mostly to communicate with my wife,
Sure.
Because communicating with your wife, the women and the masculine and the feminine energy are so different.
So different.
I'm so reactive, while she's so attentive, in a situation. So allowing myself to learn from my kids, and I tell them like, hey, buddy, I'm sorry I yell at you, man. I Papa's also learning. I'm like, what are you learning from us, Papa? I'm like, well, Papa is learning a lot to be patient so that I can talk to you guys properly. So stuff like that. I just talk to them that way, and then at the same time, I learn to listen to my wife because I'm listening to them.
I think I got to relate that to business too, like open communicative leaders, for example, like knowing where you stand with somebody is so important, and not to have somebody that tries to bring you up here and then they'll chop you down when you're not looking. And I think leadership is something to where, in my opinion, you may not like what I always have to say, but at least you always know where I'm coming from. And I'm never like, what I'm saying is honest. I think that's so important when it comes to leadership in business and as entrepreneurs. I really
100%. I 100% believe that, because, as a leader in my family, as a leader in the ring as well, that's the kind of energy you need.
Well, and I think too, again, going back to even take Rachel as your trainer, like she's going to tell you something, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, you got to believe it, because she's not coming at you with something she's making up, and she's coming at you with every good intention. And I think that's what good leaders, good bosses, good entrepreneurs do, is they lead by example, but what they say and what they express, that everything they're saying is from the heart, whether you need to be coached up a little bit and it might not be something you like to hear, but you should hear it, or whether you're getting truly great.
Oh yeah. That's right? Exactly what Rach does, man. Sometimes, I fought Darchinyan the second time and I got beat up. I had the flu go into the fight and the fight was going to get canceled, but I'm like, let's just go. I can beat this guy with, with one punch. Right. And I got beat the crap up, man. I was because I couldn't react. And then I came to the corner and she's like, you're losing the fight. This is the 9th round. You're losing the fight. You got to take him out. And in that round, I took him out, but then after the fight, we went to the locker room and then me and my guys were high-fiving, bam, 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 high-fiving, right? I'm like, man, I can take a hit, high-fiving, like crazy fools, Yeah, you're a tough guy, man. You're a tough, blah, blah, blah. And then she just looked at me with her eyes and just like, oh, I think something's wrong. I'm like, yes. And I was just quiet, and she nailed me. I'm like, you think being tough, you think getting hit this much, you think, she was just nailing on me. That was not impressive. That was this, that was that.
But that's honest love, right? I mean,
that was honest love. That was authenticity. She cared for me, and my guys were, we're guys, so we're high-fiving. I mean, not that they didn't care, but we won the fight, and that's what they were celebrating on, right? But for her, it was much more than that. Knowing that, I have to go back to her and my kids,
Right.
So, she nailed me in that one, and I was just like, my proud moment was like shut down, and I was like, I was like, trying to fight back. I'm like, what are you talking about? I want to fight, blah, blah, getting over.
Hey, fellas, I'll call you tomorrow. I'll call you tomorrow, fellas. I'll call you tomorrow. I gotta go.
I'm not allowed out.
Yeah, ultimately, I have to be like, I'm sorry, babe.
Exactly.
I'm like, I couldn't win no matter what I did. After about a day of like, I'm like, yeah, you're right, babe. I promise not to be that tough guy and be smarter.
So man, that's universal, right? We're wrong after a couple days. We know that much.
Right.
Yeah, but we will hold off. We will hold the fort for as long as possible.
That's right. Yeah.
Like, boys, I got to 2 days.
Yeah, exactly.
Wave the flag, man. Wave the flag. Man, we are men.
It's so true. I'll tell you, we had one of the best times I've had at a fight. Nonito and I went and saw Ortiz and Fury. What? So we placed Wilder and Ortiz, right?
Yes.
So we placed a bet of the under 8 rounds, and so we bet Wilder KO under 8 rounds. He lost every round. And so there's 10 seconds left in the 8th round. So we're like, hey, let's go grab a beer real quick. So we get up to go grab a beer. And the next thing you know, you just hear, boom, boom. And we look back and we won the fight. It was just like, call it off. So we just start dancing. We got our beers in.
Yeah, we did.
So fast forward, he's at, what fight were you at where he was sitting in front of you?
Oh, yes. That was Pacquiao's fight.
Pacquiao's fight, yeah. So he's in Pacquiao's fight and we're texting during the fight. And I sent him a video of us celebrating King Kong getting knocked out. And he goes, I could show it to him. He's sitting right in front of me right now, but I don't think I want to do that. But I don't think I want to do that to King Kong.
Yeah, we don't want to mess with those heavyweights, man.
But it did pay for dinner, so that was good. That was nice. Well, Nonito, I love you, bro. Thanks for joining us on the podcast today. Thanks for being a great sportsman, a great human being, a great husband, a great friend. And I will see you soon, but thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, brother. And thank you for having me. That was fun. Be positive, be strong. It becomes a choice to own up to it.
Appreciate you. Thanks, Nonito. Nonito Donaire, everybody.